I.S.U.P.K.
Yeah. Lost tribes.
UPK shit.
Strong palm. It's one west to the death of me. Some of the coldest young niggas you will ever see. Hit the streets and get treated like celebrities. Separate from the fake like they got leprosy. You wanna raise some real niggas, this the recipe. Turning boys into men is the specialty. My niggas heavy in the game like the referee. Y'all niggas talk loud, but you ain't impressing me. And it's the home of the truth too. We so plugged in, we don't need Bluetooth. The general's still raising up new troops. Might let a devil bow down and kiss my new boots. We got that warrior spirit, y'all niggas too cute. Your pastor took your ties and went and bought a new suit. Then he went and bought a new coupe. Niggas start their own group like it's a new truth. You niggas fruity and sweet like Fruit Loops. I'm a killer, I don't murder, but I do shoot. We must protect the compound. Where I'm from, they fell in love with them gun sounds. Get in this body for real, niggas is wildin'. 3 of my brothers died at the hands of gun violence. Looking in the casket like damn, not again. At the funeral, no, it could have been one of his friends. Could have been by some ends, could have been by some hoes. A couple bullet holes got him singing End of the Road. Teaching niggas to code, they don't understand loyalty. And I'm a king, you don't understand royalty. You want some more of me? Here it is, come get it. Dumb lyrics, I'm really just having fun with it. Burn Babylon, let the bodies hit the flow. Lost tribes got the game in the figure 4. Letting niggas know the revolution televised. This ain't a song, I'm just ripping it for exercise. See, I can end any fight with a throat strike. Still giving all praise to the Most High. Slaying all them demons on God. Niggas out here acting like broads. They don't want no smoke with the squad. UPK shit, UPK shit. Slaying all them demons on God. Niggas out here acting like broads. They don't want no smoke with the squad. UPK shit, UPK shit.
Fuck that fake shit, fuck that fake shit. This the home of the truth, harder than the pavement. Niggas losing their integrity just to get paid quick. We some real niggas straight from the bottom of the basement. We grew up with drug users when you just ain't say shit. But now it's time to speak up and free our people from Satan. These crackers got us in their clutches, it's modern day slavery. It's a war, you can't win it when you high as planes, bitch. Some niggas stable as water, some niggas can follow orders. Some niggas don't know they niggas, my niggas across the border. They build walls and the borders, but nothing gon' stop the Lord. Cause we building up an army with soldiers in every quarters. From Canada down to Florida to London, we on the corners. Calling white people devils, no apologies in order. We just preparing slaughter for all these sons and their daughters who taught us to hate our fathers and brought us nothing but horrors. Slaying nothing but demons until the Lord come redeem us. Battling Sadducees just like Jesus with Nicodemus. We believe that we free, but we really don't know what free is. I promise you, until my seed receive the kingdom, I'm
slaying all them demons on God. Niggas out here acting like broads. They don't want no smoke with the squad. UPK shit, UPK shit. Slaying all them demons on God. Niggas out here acting like broads. They don't want no smoke with the squad. UPK shit, UPK shit.
UPK shit, UPK shit. UPK shit, UPK shit.
I.S.U.P.K.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stoned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica. Shalom.
Shalom Israel, my name is Officer Kayad, one out of I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K. started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K. is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Brakatam to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'asham Yahweh to my sisters. Alright, so today's class topic, you know what I mean, is David was a righteous gangster, you know what I mean, backed by the Most High, you know what I mean, you know the thing already. Brother Abada wanna go come in, this should be an excellent topic, as usual, you understand? And the topic is a powerful topic, so what I say, because none of them bad man in Jamaica, you see? Them don't know say all them need a righteousness, you know. All them need is to come back to these last statutes and commandments. Not to change the roughness and the masculinity that them have, but to just use that masculinity to serve the Most High. And Abada and my brother will come in and, you know what I mean, they couldn't understand it fully. But in the meantime, you know what I mean, something that is very related to this, you know what I mean, I will jump in at the topic of brotherhood, you know what I mean. Yeah, man, very related, because the thing about it, you know, you have some man them in the streets and them do them thing and them speak about loyalty. But there's clearly no loyalty in the street because of lack of brotherhood. And where you get brotherhood from? Brotherhood come from these scriptures. You know what I mean? So a man can claim loyalty all him want, but let me tell you something. You see, as soon as them police the draw down and tell him, say, yo, you have faced 25 years, you know, he might go snitch. He might go tell upon the whole of for short and film term. You understand? That I go on. No brotherhood. You see what I say? I mean, now say the crime that you know out there commit is a good thing. But just show you say, you know, commit crimes and do all sort of evil in itself is not brotherhood. And you know, do it with some man with not really loyal. Them just speak loyalty. You understand? A man no loyal until him in the I.S.U.P.K. and a Commanding General YAHANNA. This is the place where, the only place where you can find loyalty. Because loyalty is an order. You understand? No man can go around the loyalty. You understand? Every man have to keep these laws. And these laws are loyalty. Meaning, you know what I mean? No man can steal from the man. So your phone now go come up missing. You now go there around some man and then you have to check your pocket and thing and boy, you can't find your phone. You can't find your money. You know what I mean? Man running in your place. You know what I mean? Rob you, kill you and your woman, kill you and your pitney them because of where you have some conflict. You understand? That now go on in your suburb. Let me tell you which part that go on in the streets. You understand? That go on in the streets and friends are doing it to friends. The same ones who call brothers and friends and family. And them do them thing too, no? You know what I mean? And them rattle out to the police and all them thing there. But them thing they no go on in the I.S.U.P.K. As a matter of fact, we keep all the laws of the land and all the laws of the Most High. So you don't have to worry about that. But the I.S.U.P.K. have whole heap of righteous gangsters. You understand? Yeah, man, them money are no soft soap. You get to me, I say? All right, so we're going to jump in at the topic of brotherhood. See? And the first scripture I'm going to read is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20 to 21. And this is what it says. If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. You understand? I want to pay close attention to that because every man say them love God. You understand? Every man want prosperity from the Most High. Every man want the Most High, you know what I mean, give them a better life. You know what I mean? But you break them laws, yeah. See? And by breaking these laws, you know what you do? You do evil to your brother. You see what I say? You rob your brother, you kill your brother, you shoot down your brother in the street. Even though your brother is on the opposite side. You know what I mean? The opposite, where they call it, gang. I still your brother. Because the whole of we are the children of Israel. So when you gun down your brother now, You show to the Most High, say you don't love him. You know what I mean? You still have that blue Bible there in your back pocket. You know what I mean? And every minute, you know what I mean, you read a little chapter out of it. Every day when you wake up, you read a little chapter out. And then you left your yard, you smoke your weed, and you go kill a brother. You prove, say you don't love the Most High, because this is what it says. You know what I mean? And hateth his brother in his heart. Slakia, his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has not seen? And that is the main point. You have never seen the Most High from the day you're born. You understand? So you can't show the Most High any kind of love, but the love where you show your brother. So the same love where you show your brother, your Israelite brother. I'm not talking the Edens them. I'm not talking no Chinese, Japanese, African. We're not talking the oppressor, the white man. We're not talking them. We are talking Israelite brother, the same brothers we grew up in the same garrison where you grew up in. We suffer the same sufferation, go to the same schools. You understand? Drink the same sugar and water. You know what I mean? And dumpling and butter. Eat the same dumpling and butter and rice because of the poverty. That same brother, you know what I mean, with the zinc fence house, where a leak when rain fall, brother. You know what I mean? You have to show him love. That is the way you show the Most High love. You see? Yeah, man. You know what is gangster? You know what is real bad man? When you show your brother, you know what I mean? Brotherhood or love. That is gangster. Because I'm tell you something. The easiest thing for a man, bad mind a man in the garrison. Easiest thing, because true, every man a suffer. When a man step out, a man look on himself like inadequate. You understand? When a man start do better for himself, a next man start look on himself a way like him lacking. So you know what is real gangster? You see your brother arise and you're glad for your brother. You're glad for see him accomplish good things. You understand? It's like a you. You're happy. That is gangster and that is brotherhood. Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who love God love his brother also. So, I tell you something, you know, I know your brother put you in the problem where you're in, you know, the sufferation. I know him. So when you see him do better for himself, you feel happy. Can escape and improve to yourself, boy, here we go on. Maybe you can do it too. But you know the right way to do it, have to come to these last statutes and commandments. You see that way the whole nation can come out of it. Because when we come back to the Most High will free up the whole away. The Most High will defeat the enemies and he will free up the nation. You understand? When we come back to the Most High last statutes and commandments, you know the thing already. The oppressor have to fall. You know what I mean? Christ have to come do him thing. You understand? Yeah. You don't know what heap of death and destruction follows. But it start with you have to come so your oppressor can fall off of him throne. You get what me I say? Yeah. I just saw the things that is the process. But if you don't do it, what go on? The whole of we are going to just perish in the garrison, in a hell. You understand? All right. So we are going to jump to the book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 22. And this is what it says. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And you know what I mean? We speak a lot about bad mind. See? Yeah, man. In every song you hear the man them sing about bad mind this and bad mind that. Bad mind is you being angry with your brother without a cause. Envying your brother, you know what I mean, because of what your brother might have. You see? Without a cause. So this is telling you that you're in danger of judgment. Judgment from the Most High. You understand? The Most High and rate them something there. You understand? You must always think positive, good things towards your brother. You know what I mean? And don't want your brother to fall. You understand? Continue reading. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, you understand, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. In other words, speak good words to your brother. Don't discourage your brother with evil words. Don't be little your brother, like how the Edens them be little all away and call we, you know what I mean, old nigger, this, vocalist, scaleless, you know what I mean, niggers. You know what I mean? Speak good words to your brother. You understand? Make your brother feel encouraged. You know what I mean? So, The most I basically I tell you how to, you know what I mean, how to deal with each other, you know. And them things are necessary, you know, because we grew up and we think little of each other. You know what I mean? Inadvertently thinking little of ourselves. You understand? And that are the main reason why we don't really value our brother, you know. And it's all stem from Christianity, because Christianity teach with that, you know what I mean, God white. Basically, they're not going to tell you up front, but then give the white picture. We know that a picture speak 1,000 words. You see? So that are the psychology of Christianity. So that grew with the parents and it pass on to us, the children, till we look our brother like nothing, because Jesus no look like we. When in fact, Jesus look like we. And that the I.S.U.P.K bring out on the command in general, YAHANNA, that Christ was a black man like we, come from the same family as us, the children of Israel, which the oppressor have hid that we are the children of Israel. You know what I mean? So when we bring out them things, we are showing you the real, the importance of why this brotherhood amongst us is necessary, because we come from a royal bloodline, and the man where everybody, you know what I mean, all up has been, you know what I mean, them all up Christ has even been God, you know, which we know him is our king and not the Most High, but the man that the world, you know what I mean, portray as God is one of our brothers, and he's not white. You see what I say? He's not a white man. He's one of our brothers. So guess what? If he come from the same bloodline as you, it means you must value your brother. You see what I say? And don't belittle him, because the greatest man to walk the face of the earth, which is Yahawashi Mashiach, the man with them called Jesus Christ. See? He was like your brother where you belittle. He was like you. You see? All right, continue reading. See? All right, we're going to jump to the book of Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. And we are going to 22. This is what it says. Then came Peter to him. You know what I mean? Peter come to Yahawashi, Jesus, and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times. All right, so Peter asked Christ, how often, when him brother sin against him, should he forgive him? 7 times. You know what I mean? So in other words, he must say, how much time my brother must violate me, I'm a forgive him. Some of we go as far as we say, yo, hey, that boy this me too much, you know, can't, you see, nah, give him no more chance. A dirt. You see? Yeah, man. That him a talk about. He must, well, hear what Yahawashi said to him. Continue reading. Salakia. Verse 22. Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. You see? 70 times 7. In other words, Christ I make him know, say, yo, brother, no matter why, you must always forgive your brother. You see? Yeah, man. You must always forgive your brother. So you want to know the solution to crime here in Jamaica? The first thing is to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. 1. And follow this commandment where Christ gave as well. Always forgive your brother. So at no point you must look for bust out a man's head. You know what I mean? If a man do you wrong and him consistently do you wrong, leave him to the Most High. You see? The Most High will deal with him for him sins. But when you take vengeance in your own and no, well, what you think? The Most High have to carry out judgment on you, and that's why many are end up in a jail. You know what I mean? You don't see no bad man I live till them are 80 and I die in a comfortable age. You don't see that. Rich and wealthy and good off, you know what I mean? In a grand old age. You don't see them thing they none at all. You know, the bad man them full up jailhouse and graveyard. And that is the judgment of the Most High, because we not murder on a brother, we not forgive each other. You see what I say? We have forgiveness not even to the man them with upon on own side, because I be a friend killer they both too. You see, whole heap of friend killer. We not kill no friend, we not kill no so-called enemy. You understand? And then wonder why nobody can excel. If you excel to a point, then you fall back down or you dead. You know what I mean? Because you can't go around them liars say, boy, you have to forgive your brother. If you don't forgive your brother, what you going to do? The same no forgiveness where you give your brother, and the same no forgiveness you're going to get from the Most High. You understand? I just saw it go. You know the prayer God get already. Forgive us That this is our Father prayer. It says, forgive us of our trespasses as we forgive our trespassers. Meaning, you see, as much forgiveness as you give, that is the amount of forgiveness that you are going to get. You understand me? Yeah, man. So, you can't pray with this little quenga mentality. Say, oh, boy, you're not going to dirt any man will violate. You have to forgive. You have to learn that. Or the whole of you not going to dead and go to jailhouse. But you know which part you can come find real brotherhood in the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, you're not going to find real loyalty. But you have to loyal to the Most High. You have to keep him laws and him statutes and commandments. You have to love the Most High by showing love to your brothers. You understand? And this one I go find real loyalty. You see, if you're out in the streets, I do one bag of dirt and crime and one bag of something. You're not going to last long, man. I see a man them where you are dirty, that go dirt you. You don't know. I want to see it go on every day. Till you say, boy, I can't trust mankind. I want to friend them when I talk. I want to know. Whenever I want to say, boy, I want to trust no man, I want to trust mankind, I want to friend them when I talk. I want to see, I want to friend them a fussy. Because them now keep them laws, yeah. So what we have to do now? We have to change up on the culture. We not say we have to stop move tough. We not say we have to turn church boy and, you know what I mean, start talk like we have some girl pitney or something like that. We have to say we have to start keep them liar. Because you see that same tough men, strength, that masculinity we want to have at the Most High go no. But the Most High never go no murder. The Most High never go no friend killer and betrayal. And this loyalty that in a fool heart, so we have to change. You understand? We have to come to these laws. We have to change up on the ways. So the Most High can bless you and take you out of this poverty. You see the government no business about you. Government want you dead. As you speak out, as you break the little curfew order, which me not say you're supposed to. Police assault you, fling you up in a truck, embarrass you. But when the politicians them do it, boy, they get a slap on the rich. When the white people them come here, them get for gallivant about and do what they want to do. So what I say? So who know the people when nobody no love? You understand the scripture telling you already? Gather yourself together, all nation not desired, and want to see someone who is not desired. I want to see it years after years with the same politician them want to vote for. And the politician them do what they want, we don't know, because them see say uno na no brotherhood. Them consider uno like animals because them see uno murder one another in the garrison, uno kill off one another. So then send police to come kill uno too. I saw it work, you know. Uno no value uno one another, so why should we value uno? And many of these leaders, them are Edens. I don't need to understand them are not even uno people. You understand? Majority of people stuck in the garrison, stuck in the ghetto, are suffer hell like you. So I have to learn to love them. You understand? Learn to love them and show them love. Keep these laws. You understand? Because you might say, boy, I love my brother, man. We are talk about Ray. I love my sister. Yeah, but the most I have a standard of what love is. Because every man love different. Yeah, you know what I mean? Some man love, you know, is, boy, I'm not going to do you no evil unless you do me none. See? But if you violate him, a dirt, or some, but you know what can happen in that, this is the trouble. You might violate him unintentionally, and I still dirt. So that I no love. So forgiveness is necessary. And that scripture you talk about, you understand? 70 times 7. Every time, no matter what your brother do, forgive him. You understand? When I say if you move like a fool and make a man violate it every minute, or put your head on the block, make a man chop it off. But as I say, forgive him. Don't try hurt him. Most time we deal with it for you. All right. This is the book of Matthew chapter 25 verse 40. And this is what it says. And the king answered and said unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it to me. So you see it go back round to who love God, you know. Because you are dirt man in the streets and you love God. The scripture tells us, yo, inasmuch as you have done it to the least of these, you have done it to Christ. You understand? So every man where you dirt and have it put in the graveyard is like a Christ you kill, brother. So you talk about you love God. You don't love God. Because you kill God's son every day. You kill God people every day. You see what I say? Yeah, man. So that we need to understand. So we have to treat the least. On the least, I want a brother. The brother want to feel like I want to waste man. I want to even rate. Treat him with brotherhood, love, respect. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I make the other nation them look on. I make Babylon look on and say, oh, you know, she said the garrison unite. You know, she said the poor descendants of the slave them unite and them love and them value and cherish each other. And then them see we start stand up for each other. See? So no police can't just come in and kill a man innocently or come abuse nobody because them see we stand strong with each other. And we can't bear to see no man get abused because our brother. And as little and insignificant as society might consider him, we value him. You understand? All right, continue reading. This is the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. And this is what it says. And as you would that men should do to you, do we also them to them likewise. All right, and that is the thing. Oh, yeah, dirt people, you know, want dead. Oh, yeah, kill people, you know, want dead. You understand? Oh, yeah, snitch per man. Because no found not talk about this. You know. Enough man will claim say them a gangster, you know, informer, you know. Oh, now send man got jailhouse. Right? I want to know why I got jailhouse. The scripture says, in as much as you would man do to you, do to them also, paraphrasing. See? So everything where you do, expect it back to you. It will come back right around full circle to you. You don't love talk about karma. Well, real karma in the Bible. Real karma in them scripture. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right. This is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 31. And this is what it says. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy brother as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. So the same love, the same, you know what I mean, thing where you don't want for yourself, want it for your brother too. Too much time you want, you see it, too much time we want achieve and we want good for ourselves, but we don't want it for our brother. Then you know encourage most time for one bless you, brother. And this is not a prosperity business, you know. But you know what I mean? You know want good for your brother, so what could you have for your people? You understand? You must always want your brother to do as good as you are do. Anything where you want for yourself, you must want it for your brother as well. You see? Continue reading. So look here. We're going to jump to the book of John, chapter 13, and we're going to read from 34 to 35. This is what it says. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. See? And this is Christ to the people, to his disciple, by dying for them, right? Verse 35, by this shall all men know that ye are my disciple. 12 to 14. See in verse 12, this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Verse 13, greater love has no man than this, than a man lay down his life for his friend. But how much man are going to do that? You know what I mean? You put shot in a people. You see? But you're afraid of gunshot. You see? So in other words, you won't dead, you kill, you murder, and you don't want to take a shot. And you would take it for your brother. You understand? You not do the whole heap of dirt, but no man no loyal enough to say, boy, here, instead of me snitch for my brother, let me just do my time. You see? And again, we're not encouraging on a crime, but we're just showing the disloyalty we're out in the street. In the UPK is where you find this loyalty. The loyalty where you see in this Bible, in the UPK is where you find it. You understand? Where a man will give up his life for him, brother. You don't find that no man not dead for no man in the streets. As a matter of fact, if you talk to a man about that, say if he be dead for you, man, I say, I idiot. Me not dead for no man. Life is the greatest thing, you know. Where you see in a UPK, you find brothers who are dead for you, man. You understand? You find brothers who will give up them life for you. You understand? And that crucial and that necessary for the building of a nation. Because too many of us won't even die, not even with children. You understand? So what? No progress can make, because soon as the oppressor come for infiltrate, he might go infiltrate because every man afraid of that jailhouse, every man afraid of this, every man afraid of everything. You know what I mean? Whether you have a fast, and enough people can't do that. The day of atonement, you know what I mean? Reject food and water for 24 hours. Enough people can't do that. And the general, like what the general say, if you can't fast for 24 hours, you have a snitch. If you can't fast for 24 hours, you can't do jail time. You know what I mean? And jail time is what is coming to many of the man them out there because they're not keeping these laws. You understand? So, you know what I mean? We just try to show you, say, yo, brotherhood is necessary. You see, bag of murdering where I go on, it don't make no sense. It come back round to you. I just saw the laws of the Most High set. You see it? Yeah, man. But Christ, him command we if we have brotherhood with each other. Show love to your brother. You know what I mean? You know, if you put shot in your brother, and I put your brother on the ground. If you show mercy to your brother, whatever beef you have out there, what you think can't solve, you can bring it to the I.S.U.P.K. Watch this now. Where the cycle go end, because if you kill a man come slap one of your family member them, him come slap you back 4, then them say, oh, you slap with 4, we come slap with 8. Wait a go end. You go kill off one another. You understand? And that go on, now kill off one another, and it never ends. And all 10 years down the line, it still a continue, because when man and man buck up again, a war again. Wait end, brother. But there's a better way. When you can bring no conflict to the I.S.U.P.K, we resolve it. You understand? We have counseling and all them things. We have mechanisms. We solve them things where jailhouse, penitentiary, now got change, now reform nobody. You understand? But we have ways to reform our people. We don't just have to give the authority. From going to give the authority, yo. You know what I mean? I know the thing go. All right, so my brother have a real interesting class where, you know what I mean, it tie into this. You see? Yeah, man, which is gonna be a very powerful class. So without further ado, I turn the class over to Priest and Officer Abadawan.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Yabashim Yawashai Barakatam to the brothers. Ya Shama Ailatan Basham Yawashai to the sisters. Now, that thing there that we had the other day, the fast.
Gangster.
You know, a lot of our people became aware that it is biblical, it's a fast. They see that it was in the Bible, but then it's then teeth and say, I want to. I must say, I know me, I want to. I feed the food.
Right.
And really and truly, you see, we are in a time now where this is trying times. This Corona time, rising in crime in Jamaica. It seems as if war on the horizon internationally.
Right.
I mean, where those persons who continue to rebel against the Most High, where would you want to stand?
Right.
Where do you want to stand in that time? When everything starts to go downhill. You see, they cut out the lockdown. It's not because COVID cases make any adjustment why they cut out the lockdown, you know.
Right, cancer, yeah, man.
It's simply because the businesses are suffering. In other words, it's not the people. It's not a decision made based on what is happening to the people. It's a decision made on what is happening to the businesses. In other words, it's a decision made for money.
Right.
Now, when time comes and other decisions have to be made by the government again for money, where will we stand? So in other words, I mean, couple of we are dead, but what they're going to do. But we said this from last year, that they can't continue this lockdown for any long time. They can't continue it for as long as the virus is out there. So at some point they have to open up and let the Most High have his way.
Right.
Because we know that this virus is from the Most High.
God.
You do your research and you see where it's not the first you have virus come out in this, what do I call it, epidemic or pandemic, and this stage where it's worldwide. But it's the first where one virus keep on, what's the word they use? Mutate into other strains so many times.
God.
This is a first. There is no, I don't see any, I never read any history where the Spanish flu mutate into other strains of Spanish flu.
Right.
I never read that. Yet the Spanish flu killed more people than what the COVID is doing now. But what is causing the scare? You don't know if you will be the one to live or die.
Right.
Yeah, you might be saying, I see a video of a young man talking about you're taking the vaccine because you want to get back to normalcy or whatever. But I'm sure him saying that him don't want it. You don't want to die. So where are you going to stand? You might die, but why not try and die righteously?
God.
Try and die where you were right with the Most High. You came back to him as an Israelite. Try and die in brotherhood.
Right.
Because we could have been given 2 commandments, but the Most High put it to 10. It could have just be what Christ said: love thy neighbor as thyself and love God. Could have just been that too, but it had to be broken down. Let you know that even though it says love thy neighbor, it still go back and say thou shalt not kill.
Right.
Referring to murder. In other words, don't plot to kill your brother. That is murder. Premeditated killing is murder.
God.
In other words, you sit down and you say, I like that fascinating him, I'll get rid of him, Or as they talk on the streets, we are going to dirty him.
Right.
That is murder.
Right.
You're a person in a tussle and him talk that him dead. You are quicker to be forgiven for that. But to sit down and plan and kill somebody, that's murder. There is one man in the Bible who was a gangster. When you look at the life of David, people who say that they love God, they don't like to hear that David was a gangster.
Yeah, you see, God.
They want, yes, sis? All right, thank you. They love to hear that David was a man of. But by the way, where in the Bible is it? That David was a man of God's own heart. So if you can find it for me, the Officer Kayano, I can't remember coming up.
Cancer.
But anyway, let's say it was so. That is the thing that they want to hear. David was a man of God's own heart, not realizing that God's own heart, God himself was a gangster. He's a gangster. When him send Christ back in this world, what do you think Christ coming to do? Christ coming to extort them other nation.
Salakia, sir. 1 Samuel 13 and 14. Salakia.
1 Samuel 13, verse 14.
Cancer.
But now thy kingdom shall not continue. Well, yeah, that's the closest you say. But now thy kingdom, this was when Saul disobeyed God and God decided to stop walking with Saul. And said, and Samuel tells Saul, say, why your kingdom not go continue, because God find a man after his own heart.
Right.
Right? And the Lord had commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord had commanded thee. But at the same time, this man wanted to kill the man who was of God's own heart.
Right.
Samuel went after him in all different ways. Right, we're going to touch on David today. David is the man who we're going to be talking about today. But, you know, some synopsis putting David in some things that David do. Some of the things that is happening out there in the underworld, in the gangster world, similar to what David did.
Yeah, right. Right.
And many gangsters out there don't even know that.
God.
Because one, they don't know that David was a man like them, same color,
God.
same nationality, meaning Israelite, same man under the covenant. But why them out there now is unrighteous, why David would have been righteous? David was anointed.
Right.
Right? His anointment was to be king. But not only that was he anointed. When you look at the laws, David didn't seek to make war on his people.
God.
Gangsters out there do that. Who they kill?
Their own people.
They never go in a next territory where other races there and say, we'll kill out them people here.
Right.
Now David did that. And the Most High was with him when he fought against the other nations that were around him.
God.
David, from time to time, his people might come up against him and he defend himself. That would be self-defense. But you say you are a gangster. All right. Danmanship in Jamaica. Tell me some of the things that Don men do. All right, they say them set the order. What do you mean say set the order? What them do? What do you mean by that?
Anything them say, it goes.
So is what they say goes. All right, you are the analysis. What you say?
Basically the same thing. I'm just saying that they use forces of intimidation.
Intimidation. All right. When you say Officer Kayaran?
The main thing for be a done man, you have to be a murderer of your own people. That's the main thing. You have to be the man who kill people. You understand?
You have to be a killer.
Yeah.
David was a killer.
God.
But who did David kill? All right. Also, how about protection?
Right. God.
I have to pay protection money.
Extortion.
Extortion.
God.
How about that one? That's part of being a gangster.
God.
Yes or no? One of the things. Not that all gangs extort, but to extort is gangster.
Right.
Right. We can say a government a gangster too, because when they tell us you have to pay tax or about throwing a jail. They still think that too.
Biggest gangster them.
Biggest gangster. And them have the what? They have the police and the soldiers to back him up.
Right.
But let's look on life at for what it is. Right? You have some firepower. you go in an era and you would start to demand. That's what is, that is what is causing the war downtown. A lot of construction work going on in the city now,
Okay, gone.
But the news not going to put the two together, because they don't really want to get people scared. But I'm in feel, and I know that is the underlying problem with the crime in Jamaica right now in the city.
Gone.
The amount of construction work that is going on, and the man who wants to collect.
Okay.
When I go around to east, run a bank of Jamaica side,
Gone.
all of that waterfront area has been transformed. You pass it, you see it every day, right? Each time you pass it, you see it, right?
Gangster.
Right. So that because you don't see them around that area making trouble, That's one of the reasons for the problem in the city.
Right. That I know the battlefield, Slovakia.
There is not the battlefield.
Right.
But the man who have the money say, boy, I hear me, one man me pay out to So who go decide who are the one man who will collect it?
Slovakia.
So you see the problem that we are in as a people. The underlying problem that when you read the Bible and get into the Bible and follow the Bible, you can never ever go wrong. The love of money is what?
Root of all evil.
The root of all evil.
God.
That killing that is going on in the city right now, what do you think causing it? The love of money.
God.
A man will come and put money above brotherhood. When you go and tell him, say, brotherhood, the man say, what do you think what they don't say? A flash, we say.
Right.
I have a family to feed too.
Right, that I mean one. Gone.
So them say they are their family to feed. You ask them now, okay. So what is your profession? What is your skill? What can you do? You can show you go and say, see my machine here. And this is my tool.
Right.
That I mean skill. Right? But was he anointed to be a righteous warrior? No. So we are left. We're in a predicament where it comes like it's only Christ can solve this.
That's right. Gone.
Because who is over you, even when your people is in the mix, it's not your people who understand the scriptures, understand our culture prior to slavery that is ruling over us.
Right.
It's the same ones who are in it for the money.
Gone.
That is the ones ruling over you. So you have the other nations ruling over you. They are in it for the money. Your own people that is ruling over you is in it for the money.
Right.
Just for the money. And one of the main reasons that cause it, when you go into politics, after a while you realize that you are just a puppet. Our politicians can never come up with a solution or a plan to say, all right, we're going to fix Jamaica. Michael tried it. His father tried. Buster tried. Yeah, Buster Manti did try it. What's his name again? Donald Sangster tried. Shearer tried. All them leaders, they all tried it.
Right.
We can't tell us Siaga tried. I don't know. Siaga was sent here for a purpose, regardless of what people want to say.
Right.
Right? PJ, we can't tell us a PJ tried. PJ get the longest run, but he understood politics, he understood the Caribbean politics, but there was no plan to say this is the direction I want to take Jamaica. Michael did it, as I say. Michael and them tell you of the times when I used to sit down with Buster and them man. So there was a time, you maybe you don't know that there was a time when both parties used to collaborate for the sake of putting the country forward. Who you think break that? Who you think break it?
Right.
Yeah.
Not sure.
You have enough upsis?
I'm saying when NSC came in and the whole political landscape changed.
Who would you say break that, Officer Kayadwan?
The oppressor probably Slovakia.
The same one.
God.
Under the guise of the CIA.
Gangster.
That broke in the 70s.
God.
Huh? CIA, I can't say CIA did that. It was the CIA that did it.
Right.
The CIA that did it. Because prior to that, whatever policy a party comes in with, I mean, you can make a plan and the plan don't work and the plan fail. But there was no killing behind it.
Like, yes, sir. In that time, who were controlling?
Who was the Prime Minister?
Yes.
When the CIA was operating out there?
Yes.
Michael.
Michael Mann.
Yeah.
God.
Right in Michael's second rule, about 76 to 80. Because they were adamant that they are going to unseat the PNP. Because the plan that they have was too powerful for them, Americans. Right? Him organize all the backside producing countries. Even big and Australia line up behind Jamaica and come in with the what the tax then call it again that they put on the backside, or he was the one he was the one to come up with it. And at each time Jamaica was seen as the leading third world nation. Why? Because both leaders they stopped collaborating at that time. Because during his first term, the PNP, JLP would work. What they used to do, they used to share ideas together. And in sharing ideas together, when the ruling party brings something out in parliament, the other party would have known about it before it comes out. Yeah. So they used to do a lot of works together behind the scene. It's not so now.
God.
It was broken from in that time. Right? So you find that what has happened since then, is the oppressor teaching us as a people to kill each other, hunt and kill each other.
God.
Right? You remember when what's his name again? The present Prime Minister here. What's his name again? Andrew. You remember when Andrew called when Prime Minister fell in the Prime Minister role of Prime Minister fell in his lap and him call election and lose. All right. You remember when he was in Mandeville and him the big rally that he have in Mandeville. And there was some murder that take place. Who did kill who? No, a black man didn't kill one black man. So these are the things taught to us by our oppressor. Prior to the 70s, those things never used to happen. Politics was fun for people. Take broom and say, hey, 2 year, 2 term, you don't know, it's your time to come out now and then buy the broom. And then get a new broom and then walk with the broom and say, sweep, we're going to sweep you out.
God.
And then in the 70s now, it broom became what? The gun. I don't know. People going to sweep out the man now, you know. We have a shoot out man. Right? Now, as far as the CIA concerned, you know, that was a successful, they had a successful run in unseating him.
Right.
But just like what they'd go down in Afghanistan and do, unseat the Taliban and then have to run, leave it, and say a man like David, Dudus wasn't anointed.
Right.
Right? And Dudus did many evils.
Right.
But he was gangster. So in other words, he was unrighteous. So in other words, the things that we do when we are under the blessings, it's the very same thing. When it's time for you to experience a curse, it just flip. Floop. So gangsterism, it was righteous in the time of David because we would start to experience the blessings. But after that, and then now the same kind of gangsterism became a curse unto us.
Right.
Right? Because what the oppressor taught us is now a curse unto us. Right. How comfortable are you walking in West Kingston right now?
Not comfortable.
Right now.
But you could walk there when Dudus was there.
God.
And if a man rob you, you could have got to him and get back your money.
God.
How can you? Trust me. You have this street there where you take from where. All right, you take a bus from Maple and you drop you in a van park. You have a street where you walk through. I know alley, a wide road. 3 vehicles can drive on that road, you know. But because the vending now it take up the road, vehicle can't even drive there again. So it becomes like an alley. But it's not an alley, it's a road. How comfortable are you walking on that road?
Not comfortable, sir.
How comfortable are you walking in Luke Lane, Matches Lane, anywhere at the West Kingston community?
Yeah.
So our blessings has become curse.
Right.
The things that would have been righteous among us becomes curse unto us. When David was a righteous gangster and him fight battles and him beat the enemy and him take them spoils, what do you think him do with the spoils?
Him share it up amongst him people.
Thank you. God. He shared it up amongst his people.
Right.
What these gangsters don't know.
Slovakia.
Yeah.
In some cases, I'm sure amongst the footmen them, you know what I mean?
Amongst their men.
Their men. And in most cases,
David shared it amongst all his people.
Right, right.
And guess what? He was the one who made it law in Israel that you share the spoils of war amongst the people.
God.
Right? These guns that these gangsters use, they are not cheap.
Right.
So they acquire it by money.
Right.
Why didn't you use that money and share it amongst the people?
Right.
We have other unrighteous gangs again, like in Colombia, Pablo Escobar. Juglad. You can't be selling something that is killing your own people and making you rich.
Right.
Can't be doing that. So, I mean, David, being a man of God's own heart, was righteous. And we're going to look at some of the things that David did. 1 Samuel 25.
Another one can.
It's not an echo. Turn down.
Another one can.
I'll find it, you can read.
Another one, Gangster. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 25 and verse 1. And Samuel died, and all Israel were gathered together and lamented him, and buried him in his house at Ramah. And David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. Verse 2. And there was a man in Ma'an whose possession were in Carmel, and the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was shearing his sheep in Carmel.
Even today, you have 3,000 sheep under your hand,
right,
and 1,000 goat. All right, let me not put it that far. You have 1,000 sheep and 500 goats.
Right.
You're a poor man.
Right.
So this man was a wealthy man. That's why the Bible said he was what? Very great.
Right.
3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. If you have 1,000 goats, you're looking at, remember now, the majority of the flock is normally female. So you're looking at probably 750 out of the 1,000 goats, probably 750 female.
Right.
Not 750, let's say 500 is ready to be impregnated. How long it takes for a goat to have kids? On a real town man, approximately 6 months.
Yeah.
So it can give you 2 drops in about a year. Let's say you get 1, and rare goats have 1 kid.
God.
2 or they have 3. So that flock multiplied exponentially each year. Once you get the food for them, right? It takes money to care for them, because you have the ones that are sick, you have to buy the things to sort them out and things. But what was he doing here? He was shearing sheep, which means that he did what also?
He sold wool.
He sold wool.
Right.
And you shearing 3,000 sheep during spring to sell wool. That's a whole lot of wool. Which is why the Bible tells you that he was very great. He was rich. Even by today's standard, people still shear sheep for the purpose of wool. Wool not cheap. Even today, wool not cheap, That is why you get so much synthetic fiber in your clothes from China. Man-made material. Because the natural made material costs some money. The real cotton, the real wool costs some money. So if you have 3,000 sheep right now in Jamaica, shearing, you probably would be the largest sheep herder in Jamaica if you have that. And guess what also you have? You have land. Because those sheep require and goat, that amount of sheep and goat require a lot of land. What else you have? You have servants. Right. Today we don't say servants, we say what? What's the word we use today? Or employees. Right, you have to employ a lot of person to work for you, to care for them. All right, so just to give you a picture of how wealthy this man was. So you see the laws that are made, how you You know, you don't glean the corners of your field and how you treat the poor and so. Those laws were made for men like these in the nation.
Right.
Yeah. Because of the prosperity of the nation, their wealth grow. It was their job in turn to take care of the poor, give them work, make sure that they get them pay, how you treat the people of your bloodline, bloodline, Israelites who work for you, as opposed to a man of another race. Right? Laws were made for these men. Because these were the men who often lead the nation astray. It's not the poor man lead Israel to sin, you know. It's the rich man.
God.
You have the power to do it. You have that amount of sheep and goat and thing. You probably have at least 500-600 men people working for him.
Right.
Who take orders from him. Who have to do whatever he says.
God.
So he can lead those people astray.
God.
All right. So that is why you see Christ speak against the rich so much, because they allow themselves to be blinded by the riches that they have. Now, this is one thing which most people believe, that, you know, once you're serving God, you mustn't be rich. And God not like rich people. But if you read our blessings is what? To rule over other nations, and what? Not to lend to them and don't need to borrow from them.
God.
No poor man can do that. No poor man can rule over other nation. Look at America. This deal now that can come up with Australia just bunks out France to the point where France gets so bad, so angry, him withdraw, not troops, is diplomats from America and from Australia immediately. Recall him. Normally you do that when there is war. So
God. So
they probably see this move as an act of war.
Right.
But America is not a poor nation to make such a decision. It's a rich nation.
God.
Right? In his eyes, in the eyes of America, and in I'm sure other European nations see that way there too. So boy, even though it's a case where France will lose some money, it's probably a righteous move, because what you're doing now, you're giving Australia some form of nuclear capability. They might not be making it, but they're having nuclear submarines that is powered by nuclear, and submarines that can carry and deploy nuclear weapons. Then what Australia talk about, we don't have any interest in that. But you will be having the capability to use it. So you who is there now might not see the interest, but America know what them doing. America making allies to fight against Christ when Christ returns. And what the French would be giving Australia, that as nuclear, they want to fight against Christ. All right, continue.
Another one, Cancer, verse 3. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb.
Caleb. All right, what do you mean by it was
Caleb.
curly? What do you mean by it was curly? Look for the meaning of that word.
Another one can. Canada one can rude in a mean-spirited and surely way.
All right. So he was a man that was feisty, very rude, and evil in his doings. Maybe that's why that was how we became rich. So you understand what I'm saying now as to why Christ speak against the rich so much. Right? He was evil in his doings. And he was of the house of Caleb. Caleb wasn't evil. If Caleb was evil, when it was Caleb and Joshua who made it, who was the only two persons who transferred from Egypt into the promised land, you know. So if Caleb was one of the evil ones, Caleb wouldn't make it, you know. Caleb the Judite. All right, verse 4.
Canada one can, verse 4. And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep. Verse 5. And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, get you up to Carmel, and go to Nabal, and greet him in my name. Verse 6. And thus shall ye say to him, and thus shall ye say to him that liveth, to him that liveth in prosperity, peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house, and peace be unto all that thou hast. Verse 7. And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. No, thy shepherds which were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them, all the while they were in Carmel.
All right, so David is now telling the young men what they should say to Nabal. So all the time when you're in Carmel, you know, we were protecting you. Now watch over your head. Nothing no missing. And nothing no happen to him and them where I work for you. Because we were there protecting them. You see that? We hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them. We never hurt them or we never take anything from them. All the time that they were in Carmel. Because David had a band of over 300 warriors. What do you think that was? You can't say it was the army, you know, because Saul was king and Saul had the army.
Right.
So what was that?
That was a gangster. That
was a gang.
Right.
A gang of over 300 men. Led by a righteous man.
Right.
All right. So David is in need of some supplies now. Man, them get hungry and thing and film supplies them run out. So them send down go beg Nabal something. Continue.
Canada one can, verse 8. Ask thy young men, and they will shew thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes. For we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thine hand, and to thy servants, and to thy son David.
All right. Ask the young man them and then will tell you the truth. You know. And we ask that to find favor, that we have found favor in your eyes.
Right.
For we come in a good day. You were sharing. So you're reaping now. Continue.
Canada one can, verse 9. And when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David, and ceased.
Right. So them just say what David say and stop talk.
Canada one can, verse 10. And Nabal answered David's servant and said, who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master.
So this is now the curlishness in Nabal coming out now, you know.
Right.
He was a man where he was a, so who is David? Who is the son of Jesse? As a big man talking about now, you know. You know, think of you go to one of them rich man there and say, why, you know, me name so and so, you know. Ask if you send something, you know. We used to watch here and thing, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, we need some supplies, you know. Let me get something now. Now, if you live in any garrison, every shop in the garrison can tell you, can relate to this.
Right. God.
Every shop in any garrison can relate to this. And the one who can relate to this, he is a gangster himself.
Right, God.
That's why they don't trouble him.
God. Salakia, sir.
Yeah.
Salakia. And notice how David humble himself. You understand?
Thank you.
Even go as far as to say, you know what I mean? Thy son David. You understand? Referring to himself as God.
As a son of the rich man.
God.
They were both Judite, you know. David was from Judah. Him not when you Nadal or Nabal.
Nabal.
Nabal was Nabal was from the house of Caleb, who was a Judite. And for all you Christian out there, Caleb was an Israelite. Caleb was not a part of the mixed multitude.
Right.
Caleb got his inheritance with Judah. Okay.
God.
Caleb was an Israelite. All right, continue.
Canada one can. Verse 11. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
So if we take the food that we prepare for me share them and send go give man we don't know nothing about.
God.
How do you about? He knew the reputation of David, you know.
Right.
Which is why he was able to use the word and say there are many servants who run left their master.
God.
Because by then everybody knows that David, Saul want to kill David.
God.
And David have to keep running from Saul. But David was acquiring things while he was, even financial strength. Because if you remember when him just run from Saul, when his wife let him down through the window. All right, by Wednesday we should be able to go into that. Where he got the shewbread from the priest. Because he was hungry. Right? So this is only men who keep like the feast of sorry, not the feast, the one that gone the other day,
Day of Atonement.
The Day of Atonement, and go through that 24-hour hunger, can understand what it is to go without in order to achieve what you really want.
Right.
Because David had to flee, leaving everything behind, just to save his life.
Right.
So he's now out here in the wilderness, and this man now with so many sheep and thing, and David and him men them out there for months with him. So he's now reaping wool.
God.
So the men who doing the sharing now, you know, he have to cook for them, provide them lunch and thing. So David I said go beg some of the food. Say, yeah, you know, I watch you back long time, you know, and I watch your head, you know. we make nothing happen to you, you know. No, we need something, say on something, man.
Right.
Right. And he's in that part now, me I tell you, say every garrison shop can relate to that. All right, continue.
Another one, Gangster, verse 12. So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those sayings.
All right. So they bring back the word to David what Nabal says.
Right.
They did nothing. They just go back to Nabal. Sorry, go back to David and say what Nabal say. Continue.
Another one, verse 13. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff.
You see how large David gang grew to now. You talk about some 600 men they say now.
God.
200 stay with the people, the women that were there and the stuff that they had. And 400 decide say, yeah, well, we're going to bring some evil upon this Nabal, you know.
Right.
I would not talk to some. Or deal with him case. That would have been evil. Continue.
Right. Another one, verse 14. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them.
All right. So, you know, this is one thing where, you know, that got to be a nigger who love real pan people like we.
Right.
You go to somebody peacefully and say something, or we call it, you know, we say blaze up.
Right, can.
Yeah, man, just a blaze up on me, so.
Can.
But it's the same thing. He was met with, the young man is now telling Nabal's wife what happened. I said, boy, you know, say every time we out there feed and thing, you know, David, man, then did it with me, you know. And they never trouble we, and they never trouble the things, you know. And David said, come bake some things, you know, and about reel up on the man rather than give him something, you know. So,
right.
Because they know the reputation of David. What was David's reputation? He was a gangster. So the young man know what was coming. So you make sure go talk to your wife, because that curlish man, then nobody can talk to him.
God.
And next thing, David come and come kill her all away. So let me go talk to she. You understand? Then that young man who spoke to the wife, he might understand. Maybe there were there others among the group who understood, but say, boy, I work, I know what we can do. You understand?
Right.
Same thing that is happening today. Same thing. But what is happening today is not righteous.
God.
And as we read further, you're going to see that David girded up himself and ready for go fight. But it wouldn't have been righteous either. Continue.
Another one, verse 15. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant with them when we were in the fields.
Right. Conversant means that we talk to them, you know.
Yeah.
We see them in the field and thing, and we and them reason and thing, and you know, maybe they share their lunch with them, share what they have with those men. Because you in those days, you out in the field feeding so many animals. You know what that thing can happen to you out there, so.
Right.
Yeah. Any little invasion, man come and take away your things them. Next thing you know, you find two of your servants dead and a couple of animals missing.
God.
I mean, look at what is happening here in Jamaica today. You have 5 other goat, what happened?
Last guy, I watch a thing from the one thing, some man you think some goat in sweet.
Yeah. All right. You have 5 other goat and then come thief it. So imagine if you have 3,000.
Right. So lucky, yes, sir.
Give them a 1-1, man. Yeah.
If it was a different gang and not David, probably them would get able to keep none of them go them that lose everything.
Man, they wouldn't have to send to Nabal for nothing, man. They might pay themselves.
Right.
They would have been paying themselves from the. All they say, what? So much thing this man have, man.
Okay.
But have to the size, to the amount of them that is there. They would have kill 2 sheep a day for feed. For feed the gang.
Right.
Which workers? That about David gang. They say, what? Come on in there hungry. Because Nabal would miss it, you know. You would know, say, the man that take us some my sheep them. Unless you serve and then tell them. They would know.
Too much.
They have so much, they would know.
Right.
But David did not trouble the man's thing. Because that's stealing.
Right.
And we have laws against that. So David was being a gangster, but David was following the laws.
Right.
David didn't steal anything from them. He didn't hurt them. They were his brother. Sorry, the man who owned the things was his brother.
Right.
Workers could be of anybody, right? Could be an Israelite, could be of another race. But they were watching over the affairs of one of David's brother.
Right.
So David did not put him, and it most likely would have instructed his men not to put forth their hand on this man's things. So that showed that he also had his gang under control.
Right.
David's band of men were under his control, and they did nothing without the first. You know how much a gangster you have to be fit to have 300, that was what? 4 and 2, 600 killers around you who fear you.
Gun.
You know how much of a, remember, I know it's not a formal army, you know. We say you have captains like we in the UPK, we have the generals, we have the captains, we have the officers, and decision flow down the rank and obey we're talking about some rebels.
Right.
You know how much of a gangster you have to be to control these rebels?
Right.
That they are going to be around this rich man and doing troubling things.
God.
That's why we say he was a righteous gangster.
God.
Right? And this time, yeah, warrior, yes, but this wasn't a warrior. This was gangster. What happened? What we're reading about here? This was the gangster side of David.
God.
Right? Come on. Extortion time now. Be a little something. You understand? We not demand nothing. They tell them, you know, whatever you can give, we would appreciate it. You understand?
God.
All right, continue.
Canada one gun. It's lucky. Verse verse 16. They were a wall unto us both by night and day, all the while we were with them keeping the sheep. Verse 17. Now therefore, know and consider that thou wilt do what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Belial. that a man Belial, Canada one can, that a man cannot speak to him.
That a Nabal now, you know, because maybe them try to speak to Nabal, but it is such a son of meaning evil, son of evil, that no man can talk to him, because maybe the man say, boss, how you do? Give them something now. But all the person that David sent unto him, and just go and him speak and him talk and listen for Nabal's response. Nabal rail upon him.
Right.
Vex and Guan and blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'll kick over two sitting and you understand them ways. And them just listen to what him saying and think. Don't say anything, don't fit. They just went right back to David.
Okay.
When they want it not to go on. Yeah, gird up on yourself. I'll show him something. Now think of 3 men coming down on you now with some AR-15, because right now I want to sword them and use. The sword is the gun.
Okay.
Even if they have some 38 or 9mm, could even that at 300 of them. Right?
Okay.
Or let's say in today's day they don't use the gun. 300 men with cutlass.
Yeah.
Still problem, you know.
Right.
Even if it is 300 men without nothing in them hand, determined to come give us some fist.
Right.
Still problem. Right? And in that 300 is what? 400. 400 coming. Because then left 200 with the stuff. Right? So these men that was around Nabal understood what was coming. Right? They were a wall unto us, both by night and day. They were our protection while we were down there in the bushes feeding the animal. Right? Now, therefore, because when people go out to keep animals, you know, they don't bring them in every day, you know. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't bring them in every day. It's not like, maybe they do that today. Right? And you know why they bring them in today? Because they will disappear. Those animals will run by night. Yeah, man, the thief, they come take them. But these men were, while we were with them keeping the sheep out there in the pastures, they would pitch the tent, spend the night out there, and those sheep come in when it's time to shear. So they realized now that, sheep come in now. So what is it now? Well, we're going to ask Nabal for some things. Yeah, man, I'll beg Nabal some things. Supply is running low now. All right. But the master is such a son of Belial. Nobody can talk to him.
Right.
You
Canada 1 can, verse 18. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisin and 200 cake of figs and laid them on asses.
All right. So you see, much wine, 2 buckler of wine. So you know that the buckler, 2 buckler, if I 2 number buckler of wine, you know that's for David.
Good.
200 loaves. Even if 1 loaf of bread is about half the 2-pound loaf that we have today, think about 200 of that. Think about 200 of that loaf, even if it is half the size that we have today. Chances are it was as big as we have today. I don't know. 2 bottles of wine, 5 sheep. That is 5 sheep, where they kill 5 sheep, take out the gut, the feet, take off the head. You know, it says it's a ready dress, meaning that it was already slaughtered and ready for them to cook it or whatever they want to do. 5 measures of parched corn. You know, the parched corn. Parched corn is something where you see come up in the scriptures quite regularly, especially persons out in the field. Why? Why they use parched corn so much?
Because it's accessible out in the fields where the corn grow. And you're working, just roast 2 corn.
Not necessarily said accessible. All right. When America send them troops into war, what then give them?
For eat?
Yeah.
Slacky, I don't know, sir. Slacky.
They can get meals ready to eat.
Okay.
M-I-R. M-R-E. Meals ready to eat, which is the one them in the bag. They're out there in the field spending a couple of days and they just pull a bag. And they have biscuit, they have meat, they have their little something they can make tea. Well, you didn't have that in those days, but the parched corn was something that you could keep and it don't go bad for a while. So it was like, it was, huh?
No, can everyone can, sir, can.
It was like meal ready to eat.
Can.
That was why when David was young and David brothers was in war, he used to fight for Saul. David father did send him, before him kill Goliath, send him to him brother with couple parched corn and thing. Yeah. They have that in the battlefield. When you're ready to eat that, you just take it up and eat it.
Right.
And it won't go, and you're not going to steal so easy on you. Right. So they are out, remember, these men are out there in the field. So 5 measures of parched corn, probably is a whole lot of corn. And this will be corn that is not on the cob. You parch it or roast it, as we would say, and you scrape it, take it off of the cob.
Good.
So, you know, a measure, whatever is the measure, you get in the corn grain. 100 clusters of raisin. Why? Raisin have the sugar, so that a little raisin and water give you some good energy. 200 cakes of figs and put them on asses. So you see, this man was no poor man. And the wife took this from among what was prepared for the shearers. All right, and lay them on asses, verse 19.
Canada 1 can, verse 19. And she said unto her servants, Go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. Verse 20. And it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the covert of the hill. And behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them.
She said that was where she met them before they reached to Nabal.
God.
21.
Canada 1 can, verse 21. Now David had said, Surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him, and he has requited me evil for good.
All right. Somebody up on the road, some picnic. So David is saying what? Obviously, I have vain me not keep this man things.
Right.
Yeah, gangster, man, I tell you, man. So they were not doing it for naught. They were protecting this man to get something. Nothing was missing of all that pertained unto him, and he had requited me evil for good. 22.
Canada 1 can, verse 22. So, and more also do God unto the enemy of David, if I leave of all that pertaining to him by the morning light, any that pisseth against the wall.
A man, them are going to kill out of them.
God.
Kill every man down there. All right, 33.
Another one can, verse 23. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted after us, and fell before David on her face, and bowed herself to the ground.
All right. So Abigail now, beautiful Abigail, like the scripture says, she have a beautiful countenance.
God.
Yeah. The husband have money, so make she beautiful. Or maybe him take her as a beautiful woman.
God.
But anyways, she knew the reputation of David. And guess what? It's gotta be the same thing when Christ returns. These nations shall know the reputation of Christ.
God.
So much so that when them hear say Christ a come, fear. Right? This was just one man Nabal, and David decided that him going to come down. Abigail know what would be coming. Abigail just get some things quick, put them on the ass, put it before her, and she ride on. Go there to meet David. Can't allow him for David come down here, so because nothing not going left.
God.
Yes, what David was determined to do. All right. Verse 1 now, 24.
Another one can. Another one can. Verse 24. And fell at his feet and said, Upon me, my Lord, upon me, let this iniquity be. And let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience, and hear the words of thine handmaid.
All right.
Verse 25. Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. But I thine handmaid saw not the young men of my Lord whom thou didst send.
All right. You know, I didn't see them men then. This man, you're like today, you know, I say, don't pay him no mind. You don't expect no better than what him say. You don't expect no better from him. Let it be on me. And I bring you these gifts. Continue.
Another one can, verse 26. Now therefore, my Lord, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing the Lord has withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself with thine own hand, now let thine enemies and they that seek evil to my Lord be as Nabal.
Now the Lord have withhold you from coming to shed blood. 27.
Another one can, verse 27. And now this blessing which thine handmaid hath brought unto my Lord, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my Lord.
So even the men that are around you, let them get some. 28.
Another one can, verse 28. I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thine handmaid, for the Lord will certainly make my Lord a sure house, because my Lord fighteth the battle of the Lord, and evil has not been found in thee all thy days.
So you see, these people, everybody know David.
God.
And knew his reputation, and know him as a righteous warrior. Then I know him to be a no evil man.
God.
But if him have to do it, then know him will do it. That's why she went and meet him. So even though we don't see any evil in him, we don't want him come against us.
Right.
Understand? Evil hath not been found in thee all thy days. And my Lord fighteth the battle of. So he's not saying, no, you, David, fighting the battle for fighting God's battle.
God.
And no evil is in you. Keep it that way. Nobody come slaughter. You think he wasn't determined to kill Nabal alone. But all the male that was in that camp under Nabal's command are working for Nabal. All right. Verse 29.
Another one can. Verse 29. Yet a man is risen to pursue thee and to seek thy soul. But the soul of my Lord shall be bound in the bundles of life with the Lord thy God. And the souls of thine enemies, them shall he sling out, as out of the middle of a sling. Verse 30. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord shall have done to my Lord according to all the good that he has spoken concerning thee, and shall have appointed thee ruler over Israel. Verse 31.
Everybody know that. Everyone know that he was anointed to be the next king over Israel.
God.
That was known.
Right.
Right. But she wasn't fearing him that, why, when he turned king, he might come turn against me. No. This man is going to turn against me today.
God.
So let me get some things up to him before I come wipe out my household. Right. Continue.
And Slakia said, and to show you how stupid Nabal was, because if this is a common knowledge, why would you want to come up against a man like that? Slakia.
Because he was curlish and evil.
Right. God.
Hello. Remember, the rich man in Israel come up even against God,
Right.
Remember, you're dealing with some people who don't even, when they're ready, not even God, they're not regarding.
God.
Cuss all God. And a business that's what get us in slavery before and put us in servitude up to today. But that's the reality. That's the people you're dealing with.
God.
Right. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 31. That this shall be no grief unto thee, nor offense of heart unto my Lord, either that thou hast shed blood causelessly, causeless, or that my Lord has avenged himself. But when the Lord shall have dealt well with my Lord, then remember thine handmaid.
All right. So even though she had given him something now to appease the little anger that him have, she's still asking him, remember me when you turn king still, Still don't come against me. Remember your handmaid. That's she, Abigail. All right, continue.
Another one can, verse 32. And David said to Abigail, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. Verse 33. And blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou, which has kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and from avenging myself with mine own hand.
All right. So David is now saying, blessed be you, because, your action now prevent me from committing a sin. Come and shed blood with my own hand. Now, why is he saying something like this when David is a man who shed blood almost every day? That time he's doing it in battle.
God.
This time he's doing it out of vengeance.
Right.
So there's a difference. And he will be doing it against his people.
God.
All right.
Another one can, verse 34. For in very deed, as the Lord God of Israel liveth, which has kept me back from hurting thee, except thou hadst hastened and come to meet me. Surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisseth against the wall.
He was determined for evil. He was determined for blood because of Nabal's reaction.
God.
Maybe if he had said no in a more acceptable tone, but he did it with railing and disrespect. Who is David? You know, even today, amongst our people, they say, who you? Nobody know what that means. It means that that is another way of saying, I don't regard you. Who you?
God. So like, it's like when somebody say, who them man, they are nobody. You understand? To kind of discredit how bad he is or how much power he have. They are nobody. Who's David?
Waste man them there.
You know what I mean?
Waste man them there.
Disrespect.
In a disrespectful way. So David was going to silence his mouth.
Right.
Or dirt him.
God.
And not only him, but every man around him. Everything that pissed against the wall.
God.
So if they go down there and see a woman that pissed against the wall, I'm sorry for her too.
God.
Continue.
God of the one gun. Verse 35. So David received of her hand that which she had brought him, and said unto her, Go up in peace to thine house. See, I have hearkened to thy voice, and have accepted thy person. Verse 36. And Abigail came to Nabal, and beheld, he held a feast in his house.
Behold.
And behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king.
Like the feast of a what?
Like the feast of a king.
Man was no poor man.
Right. Another one can. And Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunken. Wherefore she told him nothing less or more until the morning light.
Right. So him did that drink and merry, and I know said death just blow past him.
Right.
Drink, drunk, and happy. You know that death just passed him. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 37. But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, and his wife had told him these things, that his heart died within him, and he became as a stone.
In other words, him just understand now that him nearly dead last night.
God.
His heart became as a stone, him vex, but we can't do about it, he can't do anything. 38.
Another one can, verse 38. And it came to pass about 10 days after that the Lord smote Nabal that he died.
See? So you see who do the killing? Who supporting the gangster there? The Most High.
God.
Removing Nabal out the way.
Right.
Joke with God, you know. God is gangster, you know.
Right.
Him kill Nabal. And watch this now. Continue.
Another one can, verse 39. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, Blessed be the Lord that has pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and has kept his servant from evil. For the Lord has returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him, to wife.
Now, normally, you know what a gangster do, the unrighteous gangster to the end do. You come and kill you and take your wife.
Yeah, while you're alive.
No, man, he kill you and take your wife.
God, slack
I'll take her while you're alive.
Right, slack you.
But you say, oh, God do this now.
God.
God kill Nabal. How would David do?
Take him wife.
It's only a gangster would know him to do that.
God. Widow.
David just hear me. Abigail, come in.
God.
You know is my wife.
Right.
That's Gangster. And who was on David's side?
The Most High.
The Most High God of Israel.
God.
Prevented David. Probably that's what David would have done if he had gone down there. After he killed Nabal and just take his wife and take everything.
Right.
But the Most High said, allow me to do this.
God.
I'll send Abigail down. Abigail go down. And 10 days after that, him kill Nabal. And David know what that meant. My wife that know.
God.
Continue.
Another one, gun, verse 40. And when the servants of David were come to Abigail to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, David sent us unto thee to take thee to him to wife. God.
Hello. It's only a person who understands how gang work can really see the gangster in this.
Right.
Tell you, this is gangster.
Okay.
What the unrighteous gangs do today? Want send for your daughter.
Right. That was that thing.
Send for your wife.
God.
It's a similar thing. The only thing David did it in righteousness. The Most High slew the man. And what our law says. While that man is alive, you can't go sleep with his wife.
Right.
But if he dies, you can take his wife. You can take his wife to be unto you a wife.
God.
Right? So the Most High was right there on David gang.
Right.
Most High was the head killer in David's gang. You know, everything. Whenever David going up another nation, him consult the Most High before him did.
Right.
Yeah, man. Because there was even a priest within his gang. There was a priest within his gang. After Saul killed out the priest who gave him the shewbread and killed out the priest's household and all who were in the temple at that time, one escape and go on to David with an ephod. And every time David going into battle, David used that priest to consult the Most High. Should I do this or should I do that? And the Most High answered him. The Most High don't speak to unrighteous gangsters.
Right.
These unrighteous gangsters that we have, they have to first seek the Most High.
That's right.
Right?
God.
David didn't give up being a gangster to seek the Most High. David seek the Most High while being a gangster.
Right.
And what's the difference now? Him being a gangster, him observe the rules, the laws of the Most High. Right? Him do what the law says. You don't send for no man wife and no man picnic. Right? And he did not commit murder amongst his people. The Most High did it. And he being a gangster, understand the move and just send for the wife same time. The man them who come bring the news to David could all be laughing and say, yo, boss, Nabal dead, you know. They don't want your wife. You understand?
God.
Just like a gangster. But of course, you won't get it like this in the church. Because the church does not. You're the kind of gangster the church be now. You see, like what CIA do, they turn them back onto it and they understand it and leave it at that. They will never hear them speak against it or CIA come and Jamaica and come teach you how to kill one another.
Right.
They will never hear them speak on that.
God.
But we're not afraid to speak on it because we know that's what happened.
Right.
Why should we be silent? While even our people traveling to America, pointing finger back home. You down there, don't love killing one another too much or something, and not knowing that is the same country where them living to bring it down here.
Right.
The same country that you live in, that you run, left Jamaica and gone into, and them teach Jamaica how to kill one another. So don't curse Jamaica. Curse the ones that curse the country that you are in.
Right.
With America. And them do it. Prior to that, crime rate, we had the lowest crime rate in Jamaica.
Right.
And probably just one or two CIA man come out. That show you how the devils, that they are really Satan.
Right.
They are really Satan. Just one or two of them come out here. It wasn't a gang of them who come out here, you know. Right? But they understand how to be a devil.
God.
And how to stir up your country. And I pray that one day the Most High will send somebody to stir them up too.
Right.
And it is happening. It is happening. Because in the mind sharp, France become the enemy now.
Right.
You always hear this argument, you always hear this saying, you know, don't trust the French.
God.
Well,
Yes.
maybe now is the time that you really don't trust the French.
Right.
The French saying, you don't trust these Americans. But you know, just like or come on in General say if they had spoken to the tribe of God, spoken to the Gadites, they would have known that these men are backbiters.
Right.
What they're doing to France, they do it to God over the Gadites over some 300 times.
Right.
So the blacks in America is not surprised. The blacks in America is like, yeah, man, a long time. I tell you,
Yeah.
A long time we tell you about these snakes.
Slovakia. Esau should know better than to trust Esau. Slovakia.
No, but the only thing that was keeping them from warring each other, you know, is the what you call it, the NATO.
NATO,
North Atlantic Treaty Organization. That's the only thing that has held the peace since World War II until now.
Okay, can.
Because who else in the world warring the way they war? No other country, you know?
Can.
Not even China and India, who you see that they can't agree with, border dispute on them border and thing. They still don't ever go in a war like with China, that way Europe going to.
Can.
Right. So amongst us, you know, the man who is anointed to be ruler over Israel, but trust me, you have to understand gangsterism.
Right.
Right? Gangsterism is evil when you break the laws of the Most High.
Can.
With it. But you have that band of man and keep them in righteousness. You know what you call them? Guess. You call them I.S.U.P.K.
Okay, can.
So you have that band of men. Same gang. Hold them in righteousness. And what you get? You get the I.S.U.P.K.
Can.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are you now? The 2042?
Verse 41, sir.
All right, continue.
Another one can, verse 41. And she arose and bowed herself on her face to the earth and said, Behold, let thine handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my Lord.
Yeah, because the man who is to be king ask you to be married, ask you to come marry him. But I'm not going to ask. Send for you.
God.
You gladly go. This is the man who is going to rule over the nation next. Continue.
Another one can, verse 42. And Abigail hasted and arose and rode upon an ass with 5 damsels of hers that went after her. And she went after the messengers of David and became his wife.
Right. 5 damsels of hers. What is that? 5 virgins who were her servants.
Okay.
She had 5 maidens, 5 female who was her servant, young ladies who was her servant. So she took the 5, went up to David and become his wife. You don't hear anything about no marriage ceremony. So what do you think happened? That's why we tell us sex is marriage.
Can.
Continue.
Another one can. Verse 43. David also took Ahinoam of Jezreel, and they were also both of them his wives.
Man can have more than one wife. Continue.
Right. Okay. Verse 44. But Saul had given Michal, his daughter, David's wife. Salakia. Let me read that again. But Saul had given Michal, his daughter, David's wife, to Phalti, the son of Laish, which was of Galim.
Right. So Saul take back him daughter and give him to our next one. Because what? David him start treat David like an enemy now.
Right.
All right. Now we have another righteous gangster to come again in this earth. Revelation 19 verse. I'm sure you probably can start at 13. All right, start at 11.
Another one can. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. Verse 12. Verse
all right.
12.
Hold on.
Slack.
You know this how we put it. In righteousness.
Can.
He doth judge and make what?
And make war.
War is a ugly thing, you know. Ugly in the sense that it's death.
Can.
But it can be done in righteousness.
Right.
Well, right now we are not called to be that kind of warriors. We are called to be the warriors. It's like how David sent the warrior to Nabal. It's a warrior I'm sent to Nabal, you know, with a message. And he sent his warriors to Abigail after Nabal died with a message.
Good.
Right now, you are the warriors in the UPK, the Most High sending with the message to people. But make no mistake, you are killers. And this is the time that you're going to find out how much of a killer and a warrior you really are.
Right.
Right? Read on.
Another one can. Verse 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
All right. What do you think that name was now? A reputation just like his grandfather David.
God.
Abigail feared David's reputation. David's reputation was what drove the fear in Abigail. In the case and take something the man carry go give. Right? So this now, and he had a name that no man knew but he himself. That's the reputation he is coming with to set. It's only him know what him coming to do, you know. We know that him coming to kill, but it also tell her that, you know, it's gonna be so terrible that him take you up and have you up in the chariot, hide your face from the cruelty that he's going to do to the other nation.
Right.
Right? It's only Christ himself know what him coming to do, you know. We know him coming to change things and to change the order of this world. And when you look at the firepower in this world, you know, say, no boy thing can change this order of this world. You know?
Right.
You have to be a serious, you have to be a warrior, cruel man David. Right? Christ not coming to fight no anointed of the Lord. David had one enemy that was anointed of the Lord. That became like a problem to him because he can't kill him because he's the Lord anointed.
God.
So what he has to be doing, running from him.
God.
Christ not coming to face no Lord anointed, so he'll be running from no man.
God.
But the thing that you are called to do now in the UPK is to fish, gather the warriors.
God.
Right? You're not gathering any girlish man. You're not gathering any what you call them? Effeminate men.
Right.
It tell you the kind of people that won't make it to the kingdom. You know? So you're not gathering those.
God.
You're gathering righteous warriors, searching for righteous warriors. That's what you're called to do today in the UPK. Right? To be a man like David. Yes, you have the weapon, but you won't be using it on your brothers.
God.
And so far, the Most High has kept our hands from using any weapons on anybody. Right? When the Kentucky 8 had their showdown, I think I'm sure this no. No. When the Kentucky 8 had their showdown the other day, it was mainly fist fight, and they were taking on men with AR-15.
God.
And throw a punch on them. You laugh. So just imagine. Why we know if we did about they have a top one of them, obviously that AR-15 they drop it up. I take it up.
God. God.
Yeah, man. I know what me would have do if it needed it. So I managed to knock one of them on that the AR-15 drop.
Worse.
I would have to come bail me. But you know, thanks to the Most High so far, none of us have committed ourselves to the point where doing the work of the Lord and getting locked up.
God.
That's why we have to go on the street so militant because of what we're going out there to face.
Right.
All right, continue.
Another one can. Verse 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God.
All right, the name is called the Word of God. He come to fulfill all that is written there about restoration of Israel and all that. Christ coming to do that. Right? Vesture dipped in blood. He did not kill a goat and dip that gown in blood. That's human blood.
Right.
So all who want to make treaties and pact with them one another thing like America, UK, Australia. A three strong front, that three good front that, you know, on the human level you're still, you know. Yeah. 3 English speaking countries. The younger one them would have wine right now is Canada. And Canada are really in them levels of war there.
Okay.
Canada have an army and thinking about they're not really in them levels of war there like we. There's how America will go in your country and take away your things. Canada will not really pre them with it.
Okay, good.
Canada will defend what they have. And I really pre if you go in your place. even though they join him when they go down in not Afghanistan, Iraq. Yeah, but that is just, my brethren do some things and I not give my hand. You understand? Send about some, whether 200 or 2,000 true. Just give them a hand because you're part of the alliance. If a country should come upon you, upon Canada, the first defense there is America. So nobody not really going to think of coming upon Canada.
Good.
Australia, UK, yeah, man, we try to keep them over and take over them food, man. Good food them they eat. They take over UK, some wealth is there. Australia have some too. Not to mention America. They just want to find where the goal is, the real goal. Not the money mint, the goal. All right. So Christ coming back with his vesture dipped in blood.
Another one, gun, verse 14. Verse 14. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean.
Continue.
Another one, gun, verse 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty God.
So all the vengeance that the Most High want to put out on these other nations, Christ coming to do it. Saul failed. That's why the Most High didn't like him. Saul, the Most High making get him and him 3 sons them. Even the son who bind himself with David was Jonathan. But show you how gangster the Most High be, The Most High make sure Jonathan no leasing can change his mind and David in the end after David turned king.
Right.
And go on rebellion against David. The Most High make sure he put him down. Why? The Most High is gangster.
Right.
Now, it's only a real America is gangster now. I don't know if you realize that, America is the top gangster nation in this world right now. If you notice, anytime not do anything, is him one do it? Which country he invade by himself? None. Him use allies.
Gun.
Why? When you decide to retaliate on him, it's not him alone you're going to retaliate on. So you're going to think twice before you retaliate if you were defeated.
Okay, gun.
If you want to seek revenge, I'm going to seek revenge from both 10, 15 nations.
Right.
So the only thing you can do is let it go.
Okay.
Right? America is gangster, man. That move where you see America just brush France aside and pull Australia now. In other words, Australia pull in a tighter circle now with America, That nuclear submarine deal.
Okay.
That move is a gangster move. And what Christ is coming to do here, what? Him shall do what? He shall rule them with a rod of iron. Now that sharp sword that is out of his mouth go with a sharp sword. Now, can sword come out of your mouth?
Right.
So the simple mind might read it and think that, when some superpower come out, spit out sword. No, it's just the words. Somebody ever tell you words that cut you? Exactly. So that's what he's coming to do with the nation. And what's the cut they are going to get? How they have treated the Most High people.
Right.
All who believe that you should not get any reparations for you being in sin. Sorry, you being in slavery. They believe that you should not be granted any repair because slavery was legal. Legal in whose book? In God's book? All these nations who have been doing us wrong from we have been in Jerusalem. No, that is the wine press of the fierceness and wrath of God. God is wrath among these nations. But you want a righteous man to execute that wrath. Saul was anointed, but Saul failed. Saul, being the Benjamin that he is, become tough-headed and believe that him should do what him think.
God.
All right, 16 and last one.
Another one gun. Verse 15. And out of his mouth, verse 16.
16.
And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Right. How is he going to be King of Kings? Ma come take one of them stripe. That's another gangster term too. Take a man's stripe.
God.
You know, necessarily have to kill him, you know. But him no answer to you because of how you deal with him.
Right.
Right? Him have to quat. So you take him stripe. Now, that is the thing that we are preparing for and knowing what is to come. And we ain't going to tell our people any damn lie that we are going to be holding hands and singing no kumbaya when Christ comes and being in heaven and all things pass away.
God.
No. The Bible tell you the things that is going to happen. The only thing you can do is prepare yourself.
Right.
You can't change it. You can't stop it. And guess what? The white man, Esau's generation, know that.
God.
That is why America is making the moves that he is making. He knows that his kingdom is the one that Christ is coming to personally destroy.
Right.
The others will have an opportunity to follow Christ or not. We know so the white man now won't follow nobody because of pride. So we know what will happen. But America won't get the chance. He won't get the opportunity to follow. He's the one who the Most High going to come kick over.
Right.
Yeah. There's a hit out on Esau's head.
Right.
Esau's generation, and Christ is the hit man coming to make that hit. And guess what? The Bible says what? In righteousness he make war. Which means that what? The wars that he'll come in to make won't be wrong. He'll be right. That's the vengeance that we seek as a people. All the same we sit down and talk about how what they did in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in Jamaica here, how they treat us. You know, they come and sow the seed of murder amongst our people. Plus, economically, what they do, play us the underhand at all times. Yeah, man. When the Most High come and this is just this. What about those times from even Maccabees and before that? All those nations whom he has not caused any vengeance on them as yet.
Right.
So imagine you they are going to die for some things that they don't know about. When he comes for us, we'll be found in whose hand? In Esau's hand.
God.
And as the scripture says, if a man stealeth a man, you woe be unto the one whose hand he is found into.
Right.
He is the one who is going to pay, which means, you know, somebody thief a man and slave him, you know, and work him out, and then give him to you, and you have him for just 2 days now, and he's found in your hands. Is you going to pay the price?
God.
The man who work him and God, you know, he stand a better chance than you. Woe be unto the one whose hands he is found into. Whose hands are we in now? Esau.
God.
So woe be unto him. There's a hit out on his head.
Salakia, that heavy, sir. Salakia.
Yeah. Any questions?
Salakia.
Questions? All right, with that, we'll pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kayadwan.
All right, clap it up. Salakia, sir. Full prayers.
Yeah.
All right, can I run can? All right, these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother or a sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. It's 10 in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced Ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, that is the Feast of Tabernacle. This is the 15th day of the 7th month for 8 days. You know what I mean? This is Monday the 20th. This is from Monday the 20th to Tuesday the 28th of September. Right? So this starts, today is the 19th, right, sir?
Right.
So this starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow at sundown.
Tomorrow at sundown, you understand? And this is for 8 days, you understand? Just tune in to I.S.U.P.K online classes. You can select which would be the right one to tune into, sir. Trinidad and Durham.
We use Trinidad. All right. The choices we use: headquarters, Trinidad, Durham, or DC.
Canada and can. So those
well, you can tune into to anyone, but those are the ones we use officially here in Jamaica.
Okay, Canada and can, sir. So
because of the link from Who Is Over Jamaica, Captain Nathan.
Okay, Canada one can, sir. Yeah, man. So when you just subscribe to those channels, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, and tune in as the other one said, starting tomorrow at sundown. You know what I mean? All right. So you can find this in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34 to 44. Right? All right. Reminding Akiam and Aquatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which include black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say, I'm Madium, which means to stand. Sarlapanya Akodam, which means turn to face the east. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabashamaya.
Shabashamaya.
Kwadash.
Kwadash.
Aya.
Aya.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Malakwatka.
Malakwatka. Taba'a.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Aya.
Aya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Barataza.
Barataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Aya.
Aya.
Washmaya.
Washmaya.
Atanlanawa.
Latandanawa.
Akam.
Akam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalaklanawa.
Wasalaklanawa.
Kawabwatnawa.
Kawabwatnawa.
Kasalatnawa.
Kasalatnawa.
Kababwatianawa.
Kababwatianawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabayanawa.
Tabayanawa.
Banasayawan.
Banasayawan.
Abal.
Abal.
Awashainawa.
Awashainawa.
Maya.
Maya.
Right.
Right.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwat.
Amalakwat.
Wa'ala.
Wahaha. Watapara.
La Aiwalamya.
La Aiwalamya.
Amen.
Amen. In English, our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever, so be it. Amen.
Forever, so be it. Amen.
All right, prayer for the curse is, blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Eden.
To the Edens.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers. The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Eden.
To the Edens.
And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel.
And shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nation.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned parenthood.
Planned parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitazi.
Posse Comitazi.
The gay movement.
Gay.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies. workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahawashai, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucer and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that hath done it. Cause it to spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahawashi. Thank you always so be.
This is the prayer for the power in Hebrew. Yahweh Basham Yahweh.
Yahweh Basham Yahweh.
Baba Kosha.
Baba Kosha.
Tananawa.
Natananawa.
Akak.
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 Akak. Larapa'a.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakala.
Makalmadawa.
Makalmadawa.
Akak.
Akak.
Lata'a.
Lata'a.
Amatazaraya.
Amatazaraya.
Akak.
Akak.
La Akwaya.
La Akwaya.
Amatia.
Amatiam.
Akak.
Akak.
Irakawa.
Irakawa.
Atamala.
Atamala.
Agarashan.
Agarashan.
Basham Yahweh.
Basham Yahweh.
Tuwada Aman.
Tuwada Aman. In English, Yahweh in the name of Yahawashi.
Yahweh in the name of Yahawashi.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahawashi.
Cast them out in the name of Yahawashi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So, okay, give me a second to get the prayer for the blessings. All right, this is a prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wa'a.
Waha.
Bayat Saparia.
Bayat Saparia.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'a.
Rapa'a.
Magan.
Magan.
Agan.
Pagan.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
Commanding General YAHANNA.
The generals.
The generals.
Captains.
The captains.
Officers.
The officers.
Troopers.
The troopers.
Young men and the sisters.
The young men and the sisters.
Ba'asham Yahushai.
Ba'asham Yahushai.
Toward Aman.
Toward Aman. All right, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, who is Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you so much.
All right, star, which means to turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. I.S.U.P.K. Shabbat. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Brakatah.
Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Brakatah.
Yaramata. Sar, which means turn and face the sisters. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. I.S.U.P.K. Shabbat. I.S.U.P.K. Barak.
Put together.
Yahweh Shamar Alatamba.
Ba'asham Yahushai.
Yahweh Shamar Alatamba Hashem Yahushai.
Yaramata, class dismissed.
In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today. Call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K. Jamaica. Shalom.
All right, shalom everybody. Remember to like the video, share, comment, you know what I mean? Share upon every social media platform. Pay your tithes, the information is on, you know what I mean, on the screen. You know what I mean? Stop giving your money to the Christian church. They don't teach you the Bible. You understand? And they are not prophets of the Most High. So stop giving them your money or pay them for teach or for sin. You understand? Yeah, man. And with that, we say shalom.
This is the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And y'all niggas mad, huh? I know why y'all niggas mad, though. Cause we ain't affiliated with none of you niggas out there. And that foundation was kept this building up since 1969, nigga. Since y'all want to leave home and cause all types of divisions and shit, cool then. The world already knows. It's just as simple. We not them niggas.
I told you we not them niggas. I told you we not them niggas. I told you we not them. Told you we not them niggas. This is one West. UPK. You ain't about my father's business, stay up out our way. I told you we not them niggas. I told you we not them. Told you we not them. I told you we not them niggas. One West. UPK. You ain't about the kingdom, niggas, stay up out our way. I told you we not them niggas, they are full of sin. They the ones that are out there talking about raping little kids. Truth is they don't fear God, well truth is they don't care, niggas. Spoil the child by sparing a ride, yo, Christ is coming to kill niggas. No Edomites in our head, no Hamites in our bed. We love our own people, so no vision for the no Edomites in our head, no Hamites in our bed. We love our own people, so no vision for the fucking fed. This shit is so damn scary. Truth is and uncanny. They on bad pages in purple, on the damn candy. Cutesy butch niggas from near me. UPK niggas unfriendly. Cutesy butch niggas from near me. UPK niggas Cutesy butch niggas from near me. UPK niggas unfriendly. We not them that didn't stutter. Lethal weapon, no Danny Glover. Some of these camp niggas are undercover. Law says to love one another. Smart as hell with these scriptures, but we'll come out for all brothers. I told you we not them niggas. I told you we not them. I told you we not them niggas. I told you we not them niggas. There's one West. UPK. About my father's business, stay up out our way. I told you we not them niggas. 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 One West. UPK. You ain't about the kingdom, niggas, stay up out our way. I told you we not them niggas, they are full of sin. They that are out there talking about raping little kids. Truth is they don't fear God, well truth is they don't care. Spoil the child by sparing a ride, yo, Christ is to kill niggas. No Edomites in our head, no Hamites in our bed. We love our own people, so no vision for the fucking set. This shit is so damn scary. Truth is and uncanny. They on bad pages in purple, on a pussy from a damn candy. This shit is so damn scary. Truth is uncanny. They on bad pages in purple, on a pussy from a damn candy. Cutesy butch niggas from near me. You niggas unfriendly. We not them that didn't stutter. Lethal weapon, no Danny Glover. Some of these camp niggas are undercover. Law says to love one another. Smart as hell with these scriptures, but we'll come out for all brothers. I told you we not them niggas. I told you we not them. I told you we not them niggas. I told you we not them niggas. One West. UPK. You ain't about my father's business, stay up out our way. I told you we not them niggas. 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 This is one West. UPK. About the kingdom, niggas, stay up out our way. One West to the death since 1969, niggas.